Mayo, you're not supposed to catch them until we got the cameras set up.
I can't stand it.
You can't stand it? John Mayo, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Kirby.
Last time I fished with you, we were brim fishing with your mom.
That's right.
The queen of desserts in Mississippi.
That's right.
How's she doing? She doing good?
Doing good. She's at church this morning.
Yeah.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
And we're going to come out here, try to beat the rain, do a little fishing.
What are we going to do today?
Gonna live scope.
Gonna do
Strictly
a little
live scope, B&M,
Yeah.
black diamond, 18 foot with a crappie magnet, slab magnet. Shouldn't take long.
Crappie magnet. All right, well, I'm excited. I know you guide for JH Guide Service.
Yes, sir.
You, Jason Cook.
That's right.
And John Harrison.
That's right.
And
we start up, we'll start next weekend, and we've about got our spring booked up, and be fishing every weekend all year long.
The premier guide service in Mississippi. John has been doing this ever since, I guess, he retired from the police department.
I think about 30 to 40 years he's been guiding. I've been with him 5-6 years. Known him a long time. We used to tournament fish against each other, become really good friends, and started guiding for him, but wouldn't want to guide for nobody else.
Yeah. Well, now it's rained for like the last 2 or 3 days, and we've got rain coming in, so we're gonna have to make this a pretty quick show.
We got rain coming in about an hour, so we're gonna have to make a pretty quick show of it. But we got about 1.5 inches of rain yesterday. Lake just come up 6 inches last night, and it's chocolate milk out here. You know, most people don't think you can catch fish, but we're gonna prove to you can catch them.
All right, I got confidence in you, man. So here we go. John Mayo. How important is boat control, John?
Very. When you're doing this, you're trying to put a jig in a spot the size of a golf ball. So these fish are steadily swimming. We're chasing this one right now. Yeah, 95% of live scoping is all to do with boat control. And the only way to get better at it is to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours on this water. And that's the reason we fish all winter long, just try to get better at it. And you know, it's fun to come out here and catch them, but the main thing, just practice and get better at it.
Time spent on the water.
That is the key to it. You know, just fine-tuning your electronics, learning what you're looking at. It's like this fish right here. You know, it's a decent fish. It's probably a keeper, but not really one that I'm interested in catching. We're trying to find these bigger fish out here. We're just mainly out here catching them, having fun. And, you know, there's several different ways to look at this. If you just want to come out here and just catch fish, whether they're keepers or not, then you have to learn what the keepers look like. You know, when we're guiding, we're targeting keepers. Right now, I'm trying just to find bigger fish. And, you know, that's what I enjoy doing, is chasing these big fish. Well, we're mainly looking for fish that's up in the water column. It's a little easier to get them to bite. And, you know, we got one up top, one on the bottom. I think that fish down toward the bottom is going to be our best fish. So we're going to ease up on him. He sees it right there. And there it goes.
Oh, it's a giant. Woohoo!
So that's probably I'm gonna say 14-inch, probably 160, 170. Just a pretty female. She's starting to fatten up. Snowball white in this cold, muddy water. They're pretty fish. But we'll turn her back.
Here, hold up. Do me a favor, look at me. Just like that. Smile a little bit. Yeah. You gotta bask in that glory just for a little bit, John. Now,
oh yeah.
Now throw her back.
All right.
Oh, nicely done.
Enid Lake trying to beat the rain. John, just out of curiosity, there's fish everywhere here, but why? Why are they here?
So the water temp's warming up right now, and these fish are migrating down the lake. They're pre-spawn pattern, they're getting to the edge of the creeks, the ditches, stuff like that. And so we're right off the main river channel. Water temp's warmed into the lower 50s, and these fish are just migrating down the lake. The shad have really schooled up in big schools right off the river channel here, and fish are just in pre-spawn pattern feeding. And, you know, as we get water rise, and these fish will continue to migrate onto the spawning areas down east. And this is just the area that main lake that they have stopped right now. And they're just getting packed up here, and that's why we're seeing so many fish.
So, John, you're making this look too easy. You definitely go out and catch one today. Will you let me catch one?
I'm gonna let you catch one.
All right. So, hey, what would you say are the top 5 things that you need to take into consideration, or give a head nod to, or basically, you know, plan your fishing trip around for pre-spawn fishing? What are the 5 things that you think you definitely need to take into consideration before you head out?
So pre-spawn conditions, I really pay attention to temperature at night. As you start getting temperatures at night into the low 50s, mid 50s, maybe upper 50s, that's what really affects your water temperature. So water temperature is number one. If the water temperature is rising, these fish are moving shallower. Probably the second thing that I would suggest when pre-spawn fishing is profile. Here in Mississippi, watercolor is going to be very, very muddy, extremely muddy for most people. So profile is going to make a big difference. So I like to use a big profile bait. Crappie magnet, slab magnet's one of my go-tos. As the water clears up and the spawn progresses, I will usually downsize. I'll go to a regular crappie magnet style bait. Third thing that I would pay close attention to would be color. Color is extremely important. I like a bright color in the really muddy water. Orange and chartreuse, lime and chartreuse, black and chartreuse, black and orange. That's some of my go-to colors. And just pay close attention. You know, when you put your boat in the morning and you turn your graph on at the console, don't just drive down the lake and say, I'm going to a certain area. Pay close attention to your water color or water temperature as you're going down the lake, because there will be certain areas of the lake that will warm faster than the others. And that's one of the big keys to catching pre-spawn fish. Those fish will head to the warmest water that they can find. And also here in Mississippi, with the muddy water that we have, fish may be down a little deeper in the water column. And we call it sunbathing. Fish will come to the surface right on top of the water because that's the warmest water.
Well, I noticed you're catching a lot of these fish today very close to the top of the water. Sometimes your jig is out of the water, or your sinker is out of the water.
Extremely shallow. Throughout the day, as the sun comes up and warms the surface of the water, these fish will rise in the water column. So pay really close attention, you know, as it warms up. When you feel the sun coming up, you start warming up, that water is warming up. So throughout the day, those fish will rise in the water column. And you have to pay close attention. You know, a lot of people's not used to catching them. We'll catch them shallower than a foot. I mean, you know, you would think you would be able to see these fish, but fish get extremely shallow around 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, and they're up feeding that time of day. They're up in that warm water. They're moving, they're feeding, and those are your active fish that you want to target.
And if you're below them, they just won't see your bait, right?
You're exactly right. You know, you've got to keep that bait up above them where they can see it. You know, fish will get, you know, you'll start out in the morning, they'll be down 6, 8 foot, and throughout the day, a lot of days, they will rise in that water column. And we go a lot of days, you know, when it's muddy like this, water temperature's a little cooler, that if a fish is below 4 or 5 foot, we won't even target that fish. We won't even present a bait to it. We are strictly looking for the fish up in the water column that's active.
Do you think that the reason I mean, from what you're saying, I'm deducting that the reason we're catching them so shallow today was because the rain last night was fairly warm, considering to the precipitation we've had previously.
You're exactly right. You know, we get a warm night and we get a little bit of rain, it will warm that water temperature faster. And, you know, those fish are headed to the warmest water they can find. And the warmer the water, the more active the fish will be. And that's one of the big keys that we pay attention to, especially when we go in wading. We're looking for the warmest water that we can find.
Is it a fair assumption to say that the warmer water is going to be in the southernmost part of the lake, furthest away from the dam and the deepest part of the water?
Usually our east end of the lake will warm up. I pay really close attention to the dirt on the bank. You know, mud doesn't warm up as fast as sand, in my opinion.
Okay.
So I like to look for a good sandy bank. That's usually one of the first places your fish will pull up early in the spring to get in shallower water. They will get in creek mouths, and you know, there at Enid Lake, the north side of our lake is sand. The south side of the lake is mostly mud. Those fish will pull up on the north side of that lake earlier than they will the south side. And it's just, you know, it's not but a, you know, 2 or 3 degrees difference, but it makes a big difference to the fish.
Gotcha.
Here it goes again. It looked like he was looking at it.
Coming up.
Trolling motor's pointing that way, so the rod's pointing that way.
He has assumed the position.
And here comes the fish.
That's a little guy.
I don't know if I'm gonna show this video. You make it look too easy, John. There's another giant one right there.
We got his mama coming up.
We got his grandma coming up. Look at that. There's 2 big ones right there.
You know, I grew up old school fishing, and I'd still use the term jig pole. I like a pole that's got a light tip.
Yeah.
B&M come out with a Black Diamond series rod, and I fished with a 16-foot rod, and it was a little stuffer. Just didn't quite fit what I like.
Yeah.
But when they come out with an 18-foot rod, from the day I picked this rod up, it is the only rod that I've had in my hand live scoping, and absolutely love it. They couldn't have built a better 18-foot rod, in my opinion. It's got the counterweight system. I'm right-handed, so I have it paired with a left-handed bait casting reel. You know, the way it's built, your thumb sits right on the spool, so you can let line out really fast, take line up really fast, and it's absolutely, man, I can't tell you how many fish I've caught on this rod in the 3 or 4 months that I've been using it. And my opinion, it's the only rod I'm ever going to use anymore live scoping. I mean, it's got a counterbalance system in the back. I've got 4 weights in the back of it. Just tighten that up. You got a left-handed bait casting reel. When I hold the reel, thumb's right on the spool, let line out. Super easy, and absolutely love this rod. You know, the balance of it, everything about it is absolutely perfect in my opinion. You can see where it hits my elbow with a bait caster on there. You know, it's my favorite rod, the only rod I've used in the past 3 or 4 months since I've had it. And
whoa, there's a big one.
I can run over him.
Hit the brakes.
Stop.
Hit the brakes. You can see it stopping right here about 12 feet. Just gonna back it up, put the bait right on it. Looking at the trolling motor, lining up the
He has assumed the position.
rod. He's about to hit it. Boom. Fish in the boat. I don't think that could have been a better. That's textbook. Dude, we're done. We don't need any more show. That was just wham bam.
Pretty little old fish.
John Mayo.
Enjoyed it, Kirby.
Yeah.
I'll let you catch one if you want to.
Okay, well, let's keep this show going. I'm about to cry over here.
It is cooling off by the minute.
Yeah.
It is. But fun show.
Give your mom a shout out.
Mama's in church right now. I gotta go home, eat a little Sunday dinner, and we're gonna watch Super Bowl. Watch the Chiefs play today.
And we got some good barbecue too.
There
We're
we
gonna
go.
eat compliments of Jack Wells.
That's what I'm talking about. Gonna be a fun afternoon.
His-
Go home.
His boy got married and there was some leftovers, so they sent a brisket for us to eat.
That's
So
what I'm talking about. You know, give us a call here at JH Guide Service. We've got spring trips. We've pretty well got everything booked up.
yeah.
And, you know, power trolling's right around the corner. Be here.
There's another one. It's only 2 feet deep, isn't he?
He ain't very big at all.
Oh, and here it comes. That's just so much fun, man.
It is fun.
Thank you for making it look so easy.
Thank you so much for watching Fish, Eat, Live. Our mission is to demonstrate the benefits of the Fish, Eat, Live lifestyle. We look forward to educating, entertaining, and attracting you to the healthy lifestyle of the great outdoors. We're definitely going to have some wholesome family fun on the water every Sunday at 6 p.m. So hit that subscription and that notification bell because we want you to come be a part of this.